You think Cristiano Ronaldo is rich? LeBron James? Please. Meet the man who made more money than all of them, and he did it in a tunic, riding a horse-drawn death machine around a sandpit in front of 250,000 screaming Romans. This is Gaius Appuleius Diocles, a Roman charioteer who didn't just win races, he won obscene amounts of money. Forget product endorsements or sneaker deals. This guy earned his fortune by risking his life every single day, racing at breakneck speeds with the very real chance of being thrown, trampled, or speared by his opponent's wheel spikes. His earnings, equivalent to over $15 billion today. So how did a man born in a backwater corner of the Roman Empire become the wealthiest athlete in ancient and possibly all human history? Buckle up, or, grab your reins. Let's rewind to the early 2nd century CE. The Roman Empire is at its height. Gladiator fights are cool and all, but the real crowd puller is chariot racing. Think NASCAR. If every car had 4 horses, no seatbelts, and a 50% chance of turning into a fireball, chariot racing wasn't just entertainment, it was big business. Sponsored by the state and funded by the wealthiest elites, races were run in massive stadiums called circuses, the most famous being the Circus Maximus in Rome, seating around 250,000 people. That's more than 4 times the capacity of the largest NFL stadium today. Into this world rode Gaius Appuleius Diocles, born in Lusitania, modern-day Portugal, in 104 CE. He wasn't born rich. In fact, his early life was modest, but he joined a racing faction, Think Team sponsors, trained like a maniac, and quickly proved himself a natural. At first he raced for the Whites, then the Greens, and eventually the Reds, one of Rome's 4 major chariot factions. Each switch wasn't just political, it was a career move, a jump in prestige and pay. And Diocles wasn't just fast, he was strategic. He rarely led from the start. Instead, he conserved his strength, studied his opponents, then exploded in the final lap. That style won him fans, fame, and a literal fortune. Over a 24-year career, an insanely long time in a sport where most racers didn't make it past 30. Diocles ran 4,257 races, finishing in the top 3 over 3,500 times. And how many did he win? 1,462 victories. That's more than the combined total wins of Lionel Messi and Roger Federer on horseback. Now here's where it gets juicy. Diocles didn't just collect laurel wreaths, he collected sesterces, the Roman currency. Historians, thanks to an inscription in Rome honoring his career, tell us Diocles earned 35,863,120 sesterces in prize money. To put that in perspective, a Roman soldier earned about 900 sesterces a year. Diocles earned that much in a single race on a bad day. If you adjust for inflation, purchasing power, and Roman economics, modern historians estimate Diocles earned the equivalent of $15 billion. That's more than Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and LeBron James combined. But unlike today's athletes, Diocles didn't have endorsement deals, private jets, or protein shakes. He had horses, helmets, and holy crap, a lot of danger. Chariot races were bloodbaths. 4-horse teams called quadrigae raced 7 laps around a central spine called the spina with incredibly tight turns. Collisions, flips, and fatalities were common. Drivers weren't strapped in. In fact, many tied the reins around their waists so they could use both hands to whip the horses. If they crashed, they'd be dragged sometimes to death unless they could cut themselves free with the dagger every racer carried. So why did Diocles keep racing for 24 years? Because the money was too good to walk away from. He raced for all 3 major factions, white, green, and red, and earned fans across the empire. He wasn't just a champion, he was a celebrity. His face was on graffiti, statues, and coins. Kids idolized him. Adults bet fortunes on him. Eventually, Diocles retired. Yes, he survived. At age 42, a full head of hair, richer, and a few ribs sorer. He didn't die in an arena. He retired to a life of luxury, reportedly in Rome, living out his days as one of the richest private citizens in the empire. His wealth was so legendary that a marble inscription commemorating his fortune was erected by fellow racers and fans, essentially saying, "This man absolutely cooked us, and we're weirdly proud of it." Unlike most ancient athletes who were forgotten as quickly as the sand settled, Diocles left a legacy carved in stone. Literally, his income was so outrageous that modern economists still study it. Historians marvel not only at his survival and success, but at the sheer scale of the Roman sports economy. Chariot racing wasn't some sideshow, it was a multi-billion-dollar spectacle with Diocles as its Tom Brady, Messi and Bezos rolled into one. But what happened to the fortune? No records of heirs or dynasties, no Diocles family foundations, just one man, one chariot and one immortal inscription in Rome's Museo delle Terme. Today, Diocles is rarely mentioned in school books, but in terms of pure earnings, he may still be the richest athlete of all time. In sesterces, he's untouchable. So the next time you hear someone brag about their sports idol's net worth, tell them about Gaius Appuleius Diocles, the guy who raced for 24 years, risked his life in every race, and walked away not just a survivor, but a billionaire. And he did it all 1,800 years ago. If you enjoyed this wild ride into the past, don't forget to like, subscribe and share Infinitia Verity. We've got more untold stories, unsung heroes and jaw-dropping history headed your way. Until next time, keep your wheels turning and always check your reins before the first lap.